Yeah, you want to jump into it? What were we learning about?
Sure, today we're going to be covering the Groundbreaker.
Cool.
So, for anyone that is unfamiliar with Outer Worlds, it takes place in space in a colony called Halcyon. That's just enough to to wet your tongue. So the UDL-001 Groundbreaker was the first colony ship to arrive in Halcyon during the crossing. By 2255, it had been converted into an independent orbital station and was the only piece of the entire Halcyon system that was not controlled by the Halcyon Holdings Corporate Board or any other corporation, as many of the other settlements in the game are. So, a little bit of a background. The Groundbreaker is fiercely protective of its independence from corporations, and the corporations value the station's role as a thriving free port, enough that they're willing to deal with it on relatively equal terms. Because it's free, because Groundbreaker rules itself, it cooperates with the corporations to an extent, such as impounding ships that the board happens to flag. So it's kind of like a, if you don't stab me, I won't stab you kind of thing. Frenemy dynamic. The Groundbreaker is commanded by engineer-turned-captain, Junlei Tennyson.
Love her.
I love her. Well, I'm going to talk about her a little bit later.
Okay, cool.
Udon Bedford is the Halcyon Holdings Corporation representative stationed on board. So
Real quick,
yeah.
before we go any deeper, I just want to say, since we're speaking about the Outer Worlds, Pavarti Best Girl.
Best Girl.
We can leave it there. And if anybody disagrees, you're wrong.
So, the Groundbreaker maintains a tense relationship with the board, owing to their declared independence from the board's authority, as well as their control of shipping routes outward from the Halcyon system. The Groundbreaker doesn't really have any military or attack power at all. It's strictly just a ship for living and thriving. So the only actual power that they have are the Mardettes. It's their little militia that runs the ship, kind of keeps the order, keeps the peace. There's not really that much of a structured hierarchy for Groundbreaker. It's mostly just whatever Junlei says goes. The other big part of Groundbreaker is that because it is free from board control, it kind of acts as the center for the black market. So a pretty important player in that is Gladys, which you meet for a couple quests in the game. And Gladys is the only reason that she's not dead, and I'm convinced, is because not only do the free people use Gladys, but also the corporations to dig up dirt on the other corporations.
And she makes mean cookies.
She makes some mean cookies.
Yeah.
Other than that, the only other big stake in the game on Groundbreaker is Sublight Salvage and Shipping Corporation. Generally, they're neutral. They're just a shipping company that works with the other corporations. Basically, they're the UPS of Outer Worlds.
Cool.
There's a couple parts to Groundbreaker. There's the main deck. That's where your ship pulls in and you can go through customs, basically. There's also a workshop there where you can edit all your weapons and stuff. There's the promenade, which has all the shops and other things that they allow the corporations to set up.
10 out of 10 name, by the way.
The promenade?
I just like that word.
Yeah, and I want to put a picture up, or I don't know if you're going to put a picture up,
well,
but the promenade looks
so
cool.
Do you want me to edit this because of lore, or... Because I don't really edit them, so I don't really care.
If you want to edit it, then go ahead, because I like your style of editing.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. I really like the promenade. It's really, really cool. I'll either one of us will put up either a photo or a clip. Yeah. It's just, it looks so cool.
I like
it. Kind of.
Sorry,
go ahead.
No, go say.
It kind of gives me similar feelings to when I went on the Strip for the first time in New Vegas.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Megaton, because I was gonna say Megaton, because everything's kind of stacked on itself.
Yeah, and I was thinking the Strip because of how lit up and vibrant it is.
Okay.
It's really, really cool.
You can tell which is our favorite Fallout games.
Right. There's one other section of Groundbreaker, and it's called the Back Bays. It's kind of this semi-abandoned area on the ship that all of the poor people and orphans and outlaws go.
That's something that I really like about this, and I think when I first got here, I told you it was something that I really liked, is that it's such a big ship that people,
it's huge, yeah.
People live on the ship illegally.
Yeah, there's one thing I really like that they don't really touch on, but you can see it just in the environments of the game. There's like little like squatter holes if you're like going through the vents and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, have you explored the vents in
Not enough,
Groundbreaker?
apparently.
There's like little squatter dens that you find around.
Really?
Yeah, it's really cool. There's actually one that it provides an entire way to skip one of the missions by just like going through the vents.
No
And like
fucking
you can
way.
yeah, it's really really cool. Like you can get from like the beginning of the mission to like the end point in like no time and without seeing any guards. It's really really cool.
Wow, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of the quest?
Uh,
If
It's
you
the
don't remember,
one-
it's not a big deal.
I don't remember the name of the quest, but it's one where you had to go into the medical facility.
Really?
Yeah. The one where it's the first time you get to use the like cloaking device.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
There's a way to basically skip that quest all the way to the end.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really neat. There's a massive list of quests and vendors and things that I think is kind of boring and I don't want to touch on.
Okay.
Other than that, I'll talk a little bit about Junlei though, because she's kind of like the only important figure on the ship.
Yeah.
So she's a self-described engineer turned captain and leader of the Groundbreaker. There's not much in terms of lore for her, but it's kind of cool to mention that she is the third generation Tennyson to lead the Groundbreaker, so it's been a family, basically a family business.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. And Junlei is really integral in Parvati's companion quest, which is an incredible quest. I really love that quest. If we do another lore spot from Outer Worlds, I'd love to cover Parvati's quest.
Absolutely. The only thing is I haven't finished it. So when we spoke
good.
about this earlier, I think one of the first things you was like, let's just do Parvati. And I was like,
Yeah. The only other thing I have to say about Junlei is there's some interesting like fun facts.
okay.
So if you kill her after completing Parvati's companion quest, Parvati will confront you and say that she's leaving your crew permanently.
Wow.
No matter if you pass the persuasion or intimidate check, she'll leave no matter what.
Wow.
But if you kill Junlei before you complete the quest, Parvati will just get pissed off and won't actually leave. But she'll just be like really, really upset with you because they're quite close.
No fucking way.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I didn't know that because I personally didn't kill her.
No, I don't want to get off of the topic of lore, but I want to talk about the Outer Worlds a bit. If you're okay with that.
Oh, I'd love that. Yeah.
I haven't beaten it.
I'm on the last mission. I'm gonna beat it while I'm home for Christmas.
I don't really feel the need to play it.
I personally really like it.
I do too. I don't know. I just fucking.
Like you had your slice of the cake, you don't need to eat the whole thing.
Not even that. I don't even feel like I feel like the cake's there and I could eat it whenever the hell I want. It's like, well, I don't really want cake right now.
That's fair.
It makes me feel not bad, but it makes me feel like almost guilty because like it's a game by a small development team and it's a fucking Bethesda game. Like they have a slow
It's
down
all of the
time
good
mechanic.
parts of a Bethesda game.
Yeah, like I want to play it. I want to enjoy it. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I sit down to play it and I'm just like,
Could be doing my taxes.
not even that. Just like, I don't know. I don't know.
No, I personally really like the Outer Worlds. I've put a lot of hours into it. I think I'm probably close to like maybe like 80-ish.
Really?
I can check on the
If you
thing,
want.
but I don't feel like opening it and logging in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I put a lot of time into it. I just kind of liked finding the cracks and crevices all over the different maps and stuff. And that's something I really liked about Bethesda games, is that there's a lot of attention to those tiny little nooks and crannies that you can find interesting things. And they really, you can tell that there was a lot of love put into every single little environment because it's not really an open world, but it's like you go from like cell to cell to cell.
Yeah, I like
And
that.
each cell is very, very nicely created and nicely produced.
I don't know, man. I like I do and don't like how it's like vignettes. I I like it because it makes sense thematically that I'd have to travel from world to world to world. But
How did
I
you
don't
like
know.
that aspect of Borderlands? Because it came out around the same time.
Borderlands is a different type of game.
It is a very different game, of course, but it kind of like it's space cowboys, and you go from world to world to world.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't mind it so much, and I don't take Borderlands seriously.
Yeah.
Like, Bentley was telling me that he had a theory for, like, Borderlands for, like, 3 that's been going on since 2, and I'm just like, it's just a silly shooty game. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not sitting here taking it seriously, and, like,
You just shoot things till they're dead.
yeah, you just do it till you don't. And, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I really like the Outer Worlds, but it's just like anytime I play anything, I'm lately playing it just to play with other people. Like, I'm not really, and I never thought I'd be a social gamer, but like,
I mean, you go through different cycles.
I guess it just makes me afraid that Fallout 5 is gonna, or Elder Scrolls 6 is gonna come out, or fucking Starfield is gonna come out, and I'll be like, yeah, this isn't my type of game anymore.
I'm sure that no matter what, whenever Fallout stuff comes up, you're going to like it, or you're going to at least play it and play it thoroughly enough to get enjoyment out of it.
I would hope so. I don't know. I don't know. I've been going through like a weird phase with games where I didn't like them and now I like them, but I don't know if I like them because, like, you know.
Like, I go through a lot of phases where, like, I really like to play with people, and then I go through phases where I cannot stomach playing with people, that I really need to just immerse myself in a place alone.
Really?
Yeah, like, when I need to be alone, one of my favorite games to go to is Subnautica.
See, but I'm like, sorry, go on.
Like, it's a game that it makes you feel so alone because, like, as you progress through the story and you find, like, the different, like, ship logs and stuff, it's a game about a planet that's entirely covered in ocean. Like, it's an alien ocean. Once you find, like, the different ship logs of, like, people that have been there in the past, like, it just kind of starts to sink in more, like, you are alone. There's no one here but you, and you just have to make it work.
I was alone.
I acted alone.
I acted alone. And I'm responsible for my actions. That sounds like a game I would love.
I think, do you have fear of the ocean?
No,
Then you would love it.
just fear itself. But I'm spiders. Who said that? FDR?
Yeah.
Or Roosevelt?
No, that was, there's nothing to fear but fear itself.
Was it Kennedy?
That was Kennedy.
Was it? I thought it was earlier. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've been going through, like, I really liked Outer Worlds, and I really felt myself getting, like, sucked into it. But then, like,
It was Roosevelt.
it was Roosevelt.
Yeah, you're right.
But I felt myself kind of, like, getting overwhelmed. Like, on Monarch, if you really want to complete the quest, like, a certain way, you have to do, like, every side quest. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of content in the game. Like, for a lot of people criticize it for being small or being short, but there's a lot of meat packed into the small spaces.
You can speedrun the game in 20 minutes.
Can you?
Sorry, 11 plus 1 minutes. Yeah. Maybe 13, 14, but I didn't watch the video because it was spoilers, obviously.
Yeah.
I still have my theory on what the game is about, like the overall arcing story. You're a lot farther than I am, so you probably know, but please don't tell me.
Oh, yeah, I won't.
I'm going to edit this, so I'm going to probably fucking figure it out by your facial expression, but I don't know. It's not a bad game by any means. I just didn't think that my game of the year was going to be fucking Borderlands 3.